Stalinism refers to the political and economic system of Marxist-Leninism as interpreted, adapted, and implemented by Joseph Stalin in the Soviet Union from 1922 until Stalin's death in 1953. Stalin was the leader of the Soviet Union while serving as General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. Stalinism should be viewed as distinct from the socialist thought of Marx and Lenin, while at the same time being a logical progression of both Marx and Lenin. After a political struggle between Stalin and his opponents, he was free to shape policy without resistance, ushering in an era of harsh totalitarianism that worked toward rapid industrialization regardless of the human cost. The basic characteristics of Stalinism are: 1. One-country socialism. Stalin introduced the idea of socialism in one country by 1924, in sharp contrast to Leon Trotsky's idea of permanent global revolution. This policy developed because the revolution had not spread outside Russia, as Lenin had assumed. 2. Proletarian state. Traditional communist theory believed that the state would gradually wither away as the implementation of socialism reduced class distinction. Stalin argued that though the bourgeois state would collapse with the revolution, the proletarian state must become stronger before it can wither away. 3. Ideological repression. Under Stalin, academic scholarship was repressed. Ideological repression had a serious impact on various disciplinary fields. Socialist orthodoxy was enforced in the cultural sphere. 4. Cult of personality. Stalin defeated both left and right opposition within the party. A cult of personality that centered on Stalin grew from 1929 until 1953. Architecture, statues, posters, banners, and iconography featured Stalin. He became the personification of the state and Marxism. 5. Class-based violence. The state initiated a violent campaign against a class of persons in order to enforce collectivization. Stalin's government seized the property of peasant farmers who owned more than 24 acres of land. Many were executed. 6. Purges, exiles, executions, and deportations. Stalin consolidated nearly absolute power in the 1930s with a great purge of the party through executions and banishments to gulags. Political opponents and military leaders were caught up in the purges. Foreigners living in Russia were arrested and executed. Nearly 700,000 people were executed. The peak of such actions, called the Great Terror, lasted from late 1936 through 1939. Before, during, and immediately after World War II, Stalin conducted deportations that changed the ethnic map of the Soviet Union. During Stalin's reign, 14 million people passed through the gulags. 2 million died in the gulags, and 8 million persons were deported. Many purges, exiles, executions, and deportations were racially or ethnically based. 7. The Great Turn. Stalin launched a wave of radical economic policies that completely overhauled the industrial and agricultural face of the Soviet Union, known as the Great Turn. Stalin's economic policies were intended to accelerate development toward communism and increase industrialization in the Soviet Union. Stalinist agricultural policies were a key factor in the Soviet famine of 1930 to 1933. 8. Social issues. The 1934 Criminal Code criminalized homosexuality. Abortion was made illegal in 1936. Women's issues were largely ignored. Stalinism is characterized by monolithic brutality. Often this brutality was directed at economic, racial, or ethnic minorities.